magical things happen.
All of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, thank God Almighty.
I don't think anyone knew what he was going to say until Mahelia Jackson said, "Martin, tell him about the dream." I immediately got goosebumps because I knew something was going to happen at that moment. And so he just shoved the papers aside and started speaking from his heart. That's the moment. You live for those moments. Well, the March on Washington was amazing. I came down the afternoon, evening before. The shuttle started in Boston, went to New York, and then Washington. And I was the first one to get on in New York, and the only person on it was this black teenage boy. He'd spent his last nickel on a one-way ticket. And I said, "Oh man, you could have had a round-trip ticket on the bus." He said, "You don't understand. I had to get there fast." But it was a tremendous moment, and people wait a long time, the African Americans in particular, but the rest of us were waiting too. It's one of those go-to moments. You look back on your life and you say, wow, I was there. That's really important.
That day in 1963, Dan Budnick was standing above Martin Luther King, taking his photograph at the Lincoln Memorial. But that was not the only day that Budnick would commit King's image to film. He opened his files and his memories to show us slides of the original photographs.
So I did talk to him, and then there's a wonderful image that I took during the Selma and Montgomery March, the fourth day. And they're at the airport, he and his wife, and the Kings were standing there, and I was standing right next to him. We'd been talking, and then I realized at one point they're holding hands like young lovers. And I'm arguing with my conscience about invading their privacy, this private moment. And so I have to walk out on the tarmac, and I didn't know how they'd react because I was going to be frontal. That's the only way the picture was, to be taken. So as I raised the camera to take the picture, Martin starts pulling away, and Mrs. King, God, it was my first insight to how powerful she was. She starts pulling him back. And I said, wow, strong woman. Strong woman. He surrenders. Okay, does a guy thing. And it's a beautiful picture. You photograph the energy that's there, and he had energy.
One of the images that Budnick captured of King became the cover of Time magazine in August of 2013, when the civil rights icon was featured as a founding father.
That's the payoff picture for me, because I really was, there's something about intuition and following it and then projecting and making things happen. So I made this picture happen. I'm convinced of that, because it happens quite often. But you have to be, pure mind and heart.